Morning, everyone. Day number 117 of the AT Thru hike underway. So today's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be 22 miles, but I'm gonna start looking, well, I'm gonna fill up water around like the 19-mile mark, and then I'm gonna keep an eye out for a stealth site. If I can find a stealth site around between 19 and 20.5, I'll stop. If I can't find one after 20 and a half, I'll just keep on going to the 22. It's a shelter. I think it's called Greenwall Shelter. The reason I'm doing a longer 22 today is just to make the approach into Rutland in 2 days shorter and easier, so I have more time lounging around in a hotel. I'd rather lounge around in a hotel on my time off than outside getting bit by mosquitoes. So that's the idea. That's been the idea the whole trip. I like getting into town with like a under 10-mile day type of thing. So that's my plan. Last night was really cool. Showed a lot about the places at this ski resort, and it was great. There's a lot of people. The sun, because we're right on the peak, so the sun started shining in really early. It had to be before 5 o'clock, and I heard an alarm go off at 5:15. I heard people up before that too, probably catching the sunrise. And I flipped over, but by 7 o'clock, it was like a furnace in my tent, so I had to get up and get going, which probably is for the best because I do have a longer day today, so it's probably not a good thing to start at 10 o'clock when I have to do 22 miles. So I'll take my time. I got going a little before 8. If I get to camp by 8, that's fine. That's probably somewhere between 7 and 8 is kind of where I'm guessing it'll be. Terrain's not too bad today. I'm going down, making the descent down Bromley right now. And then there's a little bit of a climb about the mile 3 mark, and then the rest of the day is actually really gettable terrain. Some of the easier terrain in Vermont, kind of like yesterday's terrain for a little bit, so I'm looking forward to that. But it does climb at the end of the day, but yeah, whatever. It's still not a big, it's under 4K ascent throughout the whole day in 22 miles, which I bet you that's the longest stretch on the AT from here on out with under 4K ascent. So that's why I lined it up when I was looking at the far out for the next couple days. I saw that this was the flattest section after this beginning morning, so that's why I'm doing the longer stretch today. So I'll show you guys the trail, and we'll get after it. Just ran into Iceman again. He gave me a root beer to get up and over this peak. Made it to the top. This is Styles Peak. It's a wooded summit, but that little view is all we got. Wasn't too bad. Oh no, I'm crashing into trees. Yeah. But I'm gonna keep on going. I love the Vermont forest, all dense and thick. Here's a good example of the Vermont mud. Try and go around it type of thing. 7.2 miles into the day. This is the Peru Peak Shelter. Looks like there's a tent pad over there. The river down there. Second wilderness of the day. Making my way up Baker Peak. It's like this for a while. Little knife edge. I'll show you up top. I'm sure it's a good view. I said I'd show you a view, but there wasn't a view up there. It was a forested summited, or it was a wooded summit. And yeah, so yeah, sorry. I was looking forward to it too. I thought there was gonna be a good view. Anyways, it was a good climb. Rocky climb up, short, but pretty steep. I just looked at my Far Out app. I'm 10.5 miles in for the day, and I see a shelter coming up in about 1.7, and then after that there's one like 2 miles after that or so. So I'm gonna stop at the first one for a little bit, and then I think the second one I'm gonna take a shoes off lunch type of break type of thing. We'll see. If I'm tired at the first one, I'll just do that there. But that's my plan. Going pretty good. The next 6 miles don't look too bad. Seems like Vermont has the most shelters, or the most densely populated shelters. There's one, seems like every 5 miles in Vermont. They're the really old style CCC shelters. It makes sense too, because the Long Trail is the oldest trail in America. So when they were building all these shelters, they probably built them, and they all look the same too. So they built them all the same, and they put a lot of them in there in Vermont. I just swung into the last one just to sit down for a bit, and then go to the next one for lunch and take a longer break. If I remember, I'll try and show that one. I forgot I was gonna show the last one, but when I got up, I just left and totally forgot to film it. But all the Vermont ones seem to be the same. Or, well, all like the older Vermont ones, I should say. Because it does seem like there are newer ones, and those are nice. I don't know. There's a lot of shelters in Vermont. And makes it easier for long trail hikers and AT hikers. A lot of places to camp. This is a good size one here. There's a fisherman to the right. I'll show you in a second. Super cool. I'm gonna swing on down there and get some water though. There's Big Branch Shelter. It's right on the river. AT goes that way. Not a bad spot. Small one. I'm gonna take lunch here. Back walking after late lunch. And the shelter's probably about 7.5 miles away from here for the end of the day. And there's a Dire Straits song that keeps going through my head. I think it's titled So Far Away. And I swear, that shelter is so far away from here. Just ran into Iceman again. That guy's so nice. Made me 2 hot dogs, chips and cookies. Such a nice guy. He's helped me out 3 times in the past 24 hours. Another beautiful lake. There's a shelter right behind me. This would be a really nice spot to camp. Absolutely beautiful. 5 more miles for me though, not too bad. I'll make it. Hey guys, quick afternoon late afternoon check-in. It's about 5:30 right now, and I got about 4.5 miles to go, somewhere around there. Dry camping tonight, so I'm gonna have to carry some water in like I did yesterday, which I hate doing so much. Yeah, earlier I was mentioning I gotta keep going because I got the I gotta make 5 more miles, because in 2 days I'm meeting up with Kelly, and in those next 2 days I want to be easier and lined up so mileage is good, and especially on the second day so I can get there early, so I have the whole day hanging out with her too. So that's why I said I gotta go to the 5 more mile one. But I just ran into 2 of my buddies, and they were staying at that pond. They were gonna keep going, but they said that all the other ones were saying, we can't let our buddy retriever down, we gotta go. So I guess they're the big group of them are going over there, and I'll see them tonight. That's pretty cool. It made me feel good and give me a pep in the step here, so I know I'm not the only one doing this 22-mile death march, it feels like, to be honest, today. I don't like 20s. I do not like doing 20s. I can do them, obviously, but my sweet spot is seriously 15 to 18. You get to enjoy the day, get to be at camp earlier, can kind of get going a little bit later too. It's where I like to be. So, but I'm happy that there's a group of people that will be there. Hopefully there's enough tenting spots. I have not looked at it. I just know there's no water, because I'm gonna probably get in around 7:30 to 8, which is fine. But I was looking at the elevation just now, and there is like 1,000-foot gain in the next 4 miles. So nothing horrible. It's just bad at the end of the day type of deal. I don't even like doing 100 feet at the end of the day, let alone 1,000. So, but that's it. And then let you guys go. It's been awesome having the hot dogs and the trail magic today, and just the hot dogs make me thirsty. A lot of sodium in them, so I'm trying to stop as much as I can to drink as much water, especially knowing that tonight I'll have just what I bring in. And I don't know, I gotta look at where the next water is in the morning too, because if it's far, that means I'll have to carry in more. But I gotta get going, gotta get to stepping. So you guys, I'll show you the rest of the trail, and let's get to camp. Or that beautiful Vermont forest. Little rock garden. They say the wood gnomes come out at night and make these little gardens. Cool. Hey everyone, forgot to do the wrap up yesterday. It's the morning, so this ends day 117. I stayed at this shelter here. I actually camped way down that hill. I didn't stay in the shelter, but it is super mosquito-y, so this is gonna be short. Ended up being 21.7 mile day, which I wanted, and got caught chatting yesterday with some people at camp, some long trail hikers and Big Stick on the AT. So we hung out, didn't really get into the tent till about 9:30, so it was pitch black. I didn't want to do the video without seeing me. I know I've done it in the past, but all around good day. Happy I did the longer mileage, so it sets up the next 2 days to meet up with Kelly in a good situation, not as many miles. The next day is going to be shorter, 15 miles, but it's also a hillier type of day. But yeah, anyways, that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks for following day 117. I wasn't as tired as I thought I was gonna be, and pretty strong. So you guys have a good night.